Hey, wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. What's going on, guys? It's Bobby K, professional landscape designer, and I am super pumped about this video. Why? Because I have a blank template to work with. Ding! Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you out 3 different styles of a design for this particular home. We're gonna go with the classic, I'm gonna go with the Japanese style, and then I'm gonna go with just a very vibrant, colorful style that I think you're gonna like as well. Let's jump right into the design, and we'll come on back. I'll give you out a bunch of pro tips that are gonna save you some time and money, and I'm super pumped. Let's go. And we're back! You ever seen that Jimmy Fallon? I think it's pretty funny. Go look it up, SNL. First thing I want to do is I'm going to take every single one of the plants in the material list and I'm going to put it down in the description so you can see what design 1, design 2, and design 3 incorporate. You're going to know how much it costs and you're going to have an idea of how to gauge what style works best for your home. A couple pro tips for you is when you are creating the beds, I like to pull them a little bit away from the house. I think that grass is maintenance. It looks pretty, but at the same time, I like to have a little bit bigger bed so you can pull the trees, the bushes, everything off the house. You know it's not gonna grow into the house. And then as far as the shape, I like to go with curves with a classic or a formal design. And the third bonus tip, which I like the best, is when you have the boxwoods lining the sidewalk, they don't just have to stop there. I like to take the bed and continue it down the driveway, especially if I'm lining it with boxwoods, because right when you're pulling into the driveway, it's like almost like lining the path up to the door. It's like mi casa su casa. All right, design number 2, I love this one. This is my style. I'm a big Japanese guy. There's a lot going on in here, so let's break it down. We've got a decent amount of color going on here. We've got a couple focal points going on here. We've got grasses, we've got boulders, we've got trees, we've got planters, we've got some hardscaping, we've got lighting, and we took out the concrete patio or walkway and created like a paver walkway with different sizes and shapes and just made it really interesting versus your typical just hook over to the door. Pro tip number 1 is balance out your design. And what I mean by that is I used similar plants and even similar colors on one side of the design and the other side. You'll see we got the kind of mondo grasses on both sides, and then we had some of the red color of the other Japanese grass on one side, and then on the other, it's like I brought everything together. Pro tip number 2 is if you want to really spruce it up and do something cool, I think that putting a nice hardscaping element in front of the door as a focal point is really cool with those like Japanese style lanterns. I feel like it's something outside the norm. You're gonna get people stopping and looking at your house for sure, in a good way. I think I love this design because I've always had a thing for the Asian culture, the Japanese style. I think it really comes from the movie The Karate Kid. Like when Daniel-san was back there and he was sanding that deck in the back of Mr. Miyagi's place, and he's painting the fence, and he's got all this really cool landscaping around it. There was something there that stuck with me, and I brought it into my world. And I think it definitely, you can see little pieces of that Zen Karate Kid backyard in this front landscaping, and you know, it just works. I mean, who doesn't love the Karate Kid? Come on, guys. Design number 3. Really pretty design, lots and lots of color. As you can see, I just loaded this thing up with perennials and annuals, and I stuck to a lot of pinks. My pro tip here is, if you're gonna go a pink route, stay there. There's so many variations of pink that if you start going pinks and yellows and oranges and all this, it gets way too busy all over the place. You can pull everything off with pinks. As Aerosmith so eloquently said, pink is my favorite color. Another pro tip that I love in this design that I want you to seriously take with you is you don't always have to put the ornamental tree on the end. Everybody puts the ornamental tree on the end. They think it's got to go around the hook and that's it. It doesn't have to be that way. I saw a lot of dead space in between the windows, and I took our ornamental tree, which is a flowering cherry, and I even brought it out and made it like boom right in the front of the design, and I just think it looks so awesome here. And then I took 2 other focal points, the holly bushes, and I kind of mirrored them in the back, and I think it just creates this triangle of goodness. Another really cool pro tip when you are putting in a focal point is pay attention to the surrounding area. What I mean by that is we have these cool pots on the ends that obviously are a focal point, but instead of just putting it down in mulch, we cut out part of the bed and put in Mexican beach pebbles, so it's got this really cool, pretty rock. And it's just something subtle, but I guarantee when you're coming down the driveway, you're walking along the sidewalk, you will notice it. The final pro tip of this design is the retaining wall. It doesn't have to be as high, it can just be a little bit of a hook, but it kind of breaks up all mulch. And I think that the curve, going around the curve of the sidewalk, because we changed up the shape of the sidewalk, really works here. I think it's just a way to frame everything as you start to walk around, break it up, and just add another element of pop. It's just cool. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as part of the Bobby K community. And my favorite part about these designs is that I know that it matters for somebody out there. And if I've done something great, write a comment down there. Let me know what you liked, what you disliked, and what's your favorite design. Which one of these spoke to you? Did you like the classic? Did you like the Japanese? Or did you like this beautiful color one at the end? I think all 3 are a great choice for this. And you know, I'm just excited to be doing this and having you part of it. If you want to dive deeper, go down in the description, click on my website. There's an easy way to go through if you want your own Bobby K design. You can upload pictures. I'm happy to do it. We'll make a YouTube video out of it. And until the next one, remember that design is everywhere. So start paying attention to things that you like and bring them into your design.